Welcome to Hypnosis Today, the nation's first TV talk show that explores the fascinating world of hypnotherapy. My name is Lisa Mackenberg, and I'll be your host, covering a wide variety of subjects to help you understand the power of the subconscious mind and how hypnosis is being used today to help people achieve success, happiness, and prosperity. It is my pleasure to introduce my very first guests. Well, my first guest is Laura Lewis. She's an honors grad of HMI College of Hypnotherapy. She also is speaking for the American Hypnosis Association, make sure I get this right, on hip nutrition. My favorite kind of nutrition is hip nutrition. She's also an author, and her book is called 52 Ways to a Healthy You. And she has with her her very special guest and client, Catherine. Now, Catherine came in to visit Laura to overcome performance anxiety and to be in a healthy weight. Please help me welcome my guests, Laura and Catherine. Catherine, I want to start with you. How did you find Laura?
It was interesting. I work at Glendale Community College, and they had a workshop, and she led it.
What was the workshop on?
It was on nutrition and hypnosis and relationships.
Hypnosis, nutrition, and relationships.
Yeah.
Well, I want to commend you, Laura, because one of the best ways to get a prosperous practice is to be lecturing and to give people that basic education. So you liked what she had to say?
Oh, wow. She was amazing. And she hit on anxiety, people's reactions to anxiety, negative things that are happening in their lives.
Yes.
And when she said anxiety, it was like a light bulb hitting on my head, because I had a secret. I had had performance anxiety for years, and I'm an opera singer. So I got myself to the point where I wasn't singing at all.
So an opera singer with performance anxiety, that's not so good.
It's not so good.
So how come you just didn't go see a voice coach? Why a hypnotherapist?
Because the voice coach could not teach me about the anxiety, what was causing the anxiety, because I was prepared. I couldn't explain it myself.
Yes.
And I was looking for a solution, but it came when I least expected it.
What had you heard about hypnosis?
Not much at all. But Laura Lewis was very amazing, what she talked about hypnosis and how the subconscious mind can do tricks on you and affect your life, your quality of life.
Yes. So Laura, I want to go to you. Mm-hmm. Certainly anxiety is a component of having this not wanting to get up and be on stage, having a stage fright. Mm-hmm. How do you explain hypnosis to someone who's never heard much about it at all?
I like to explain it to my clients. It's like it's 12% is above and 88% is below, and this is all running you. And when it comes to hip nutrition and how I put it together regarding anxiety, I look at every aspect of what's out of balance in them physiologically, biochemically, emotionally, mentally, intellectually, and you look at the whole panorama of it all and then address it by going into hypnotherapy, talking the cognitive portion with education, and then going into the hypnosis part and able to address it and allow them to get to the space where they know that they're in control and they're able to have this beautiful calm and be successful.
Was it exciting for you to learn about the imbalances in different areas of your life?
Yeah, it was very interesting. I'm not really sure how to answer that.
Well, when you were in and you were learning the intellectual part, the cognitive part, as hypnotherapists call it, were you learning information that you had never heard before?
Yes, it was all new to me.
What was surprising to you?
That it was so true. The what's going on underneath is affecting who I am outside, in my conscious mind.
Yes.
And how it's just very powerful when your life isn't working properly, and just a few sessions with hypnosis, powerful things happen, powerful changes.
How would you describe how hypnosis feels?
It's like coming into, she says this, bliss, the deepest calm, the safest place where you can breathe deeply. I always think of the ocean coming in and sweeping over me. It's an amazing, blissful experience when I'm under.
It sounds so safe and so wonderful. Now, we're talking about splitting your sessions into two parts. This is fascinating. First the education, and then the hypnosis part. What else do you talk about in the educational portion of your sessions?
Well, because I have a background in nutrition for many, many years, that's my Bachelor of Science degree, and I've worked with clients, and then bringing in hypnotherapy, it created sort of this rocket fuel for me to help my clients. Education is key. What I do with my clients in order for them to understand what's going on, and I want to say this, is when I have a client that comes to me and they're beating themselves up, oh, you know, I overate, or I did this, or give yourself a break, because it's not all in your mind, it's in your body as well. And so part of the educational process, I talk about the biochemical things that drive you to eat, the biochemical things that go out of balance, such as lack of sleep, or not eating enough, or eating the wrong types of foods, or even just having a stress reaction, which is really what will happen with somebody who, you know, has a performance anxiety or a fear that locks in at some point. I'm able to go in and go, wait a minute, let's talk about low blood sugar. Let's talk about what happened. Did you actually eat before that episode that happened, that you remember that you got that fear? And then to go, let's fix it. Let's talk about the foundation. Yes. So education is key, and then I just simply allow them to sort of run with the ball.
Now, Catherine talked about hypnosis feeling like bliss. Can you teach us one of your hypnosis methods, or even an induction, whatever you feel comfortable teaching today, about how we get a client, someone like Catherine, to feel bliss, like the ocean sweeping in and out in a hypnotic trance?
Well, I believe breath is a really powerful, especially if someone is holding their breath in anxiety, which you often will have clients come in and not breathing. You know, you pay attention, are they breathing? So just taking a nice deep breath, I have my clients breathe in, and then breathe out bliss, and say something like, I'm surrounded by calm wherever I go and wherever I am, and have this mantra, an ongoing mantra. So I can do that in hypnosis, condition them to that, allow them to understand that they're in control just with the breath, and visualize or imagine that bliss coming up over them, like Catherine says, to bring up over their body like a wave, and coming back down. There's such relief, and many people identify with that type of feeling.
Do you use any imagery?
Oh, I'm a big imagery person. I love imagery.
For someone who is having performance anxiety, certainly with some blood sugar-like issues, what kind of imagery would you use?
Well, we go through the day. We practice, just like we're practicing for the performance. When you wake up, what do you do? How is your sleep? What do you eat? What do you drink? Where do you go? And every single nuance, every single thing, we will go through up until the performance, and allowing them to visualize and see their powerful performance and the success, and hearing the applause and seeing them afterwards and how they'll feel afterwards. The entire experience going through that is extraordinarily important, and continuing to reiterate that and having them listen to that as well over and over again prior to their performance.
So you had an association with getting on stage and have it be so scary that you didn't want to go on again,
right?
Even though you're an opera singer.
Yeah, I talked myself out of it. I said, why even try? I can't handle the emotions and the anxiety, the extreme paralyzing anxiety that I felt. And since working with Laura, and I've only been working with Laura since May, and I've lost 40 pounds. I've started performing again. I'm going to be performing on the faculty recital at Glendale College in October. So,
were you able to make that image in the safety of Laura's office?
Yes.
Of being on stage and feeling powerful, and hearing your voice and hearing the applause, and feeling that self-esteem through mastery in your imagination?
Yes, I can see it.
And then when you did it, compare the experience in the visualization to the experience in real life that very first time you got back on the stage after seeing Laura.
It was like it was an audition. Was the first time I performed. It was an audition, which is usually nerve-wracking for most people. And I got in there, and my voice just took off. And I was there. I just breathed deeply, breathed in calm just before I went in, and I was so calm. I wasn't feeling the symptoms of anxiety that I'd been paralyzed by for so many years now.
So I have a question. If you didn't take Laura with you, how were you able to access all of those good feelings without going into the hypnotic trance ahead of time?
Well, you know, some of the key words that she talks about, like breathing in calm, feeling grounded in my body, letting the work that we've done take over. That's what I do.
And how is it working between performance anxiety, talking about nutrition, how is it working with your food choices now?
Well, my food choices have changed dramatically. Like I said, I did lose 40 pounds, and I'm still losing. The weight is just melting off. That's what we say when I'm under, the weight is just melting off. Well, that's helping me with my health. It's helping me with my weight. It's giving me more confidence when I'm performing because I feel good in my body now, you know, more than I ever have before.
What would you say to someone who has any kind of a fear or phobia, or would like some nutrition insight, not just the education, but to able to, well, transform that education into action? What would you say about hypnotherapy?
Hypnotherapy is powerful. It can just help you become who you want to be.
And what would you say about working with Laura?
Phenomenal. Life-changing.
Excellent.
Really life-changing.
Well,
she's phenomenal, by the way. Her voice is like angels. I mean, when I played her, she gave me a CD, and when I played it, I swore the angels were going to show up at my doorstep.
Wonderful.
It was heavenly, beautiful.
So what's next for you?
Well, the next thing is the faculty recital, as I mentioned. And then I'm planning a recital, a tapestry of songs and arias that I plan to do within the next year.
Sounds just wonderful. And make sure you shoot me an email, because I want to go.
Okay.
You know what, Laura? Everybody's going to want to know more about your practice. Everyone's going to want to know more about your American Hypnosis Association certification class. Want to give that name again? It's called Hip Nutrition. How could you forget that? And how can people reach you?
They can go to my website, which is lauralewis.com, and they can call me. There's a phone number there, and contact on Skype, and also my book.
And you have a book?
I do have a book.
You have a book, that's right. It's called 52 Ways to a Healthy You. Where's that available?
And Amazon. It's also available as an audiobook on Amazon and Audible and iTunes.
And iTunes too.
Yeah.
And you can always also reach Laura Lewis on hmigrads.com. It appears we're out of time for today. I want to thank Catherine, and I want to thank Laura Lewis. And I want to thank everybody here in the studio audience and those of you watching at home. My name is Lisa Mackenberg. I hope you'll stay tuned when we meet more people and find out how they are using hypnosis today. Please stay tuned. We have a lot more coming up for you on Hypnosis TV. Association, make sure I get this right, on hip nutrition. My favorite kind of nutrition is hip nutrition. She's also an author, and her book is called 52 Ways to a Healthy You. And she has with her very special guest and client, Catherine. Now, Catherine came in to visit Laura to overcome performance anxiety and to be in a healthy weight. Please. My name is Lisa Mackenberg, and I'll be your host, covering a wide variety of subjects to help you understand the power of the subconscious mind and how hypnosis is being used today to help people achieve success, happiness, and prosperity. It is my pleasure to introduce my very first guests. Well, my first guest is Laura Lewis. She's an honors grad of HMI College of Hypnotherapy. She also is speaking for the American Hypnosis Welcome to Hypnosis Today, the nation's first TV talk show that explores the fascinating world of hypnotherapy and relationships.
Yeah.
Well, I want to commend you, Laura, because one of the best ways to get a prosperous practice is to be lecturing and to give people that basic education. So you liked what she had to say?
Oh, wow. She was amazing. And she hit on anxiety, people's reactions to anxiety, negative things that are happening in their lives.
Yes.
And
Please help me welcome my guests, Laura and Catherine. Catherine, I want to start with you. How did you find Laura?
it was interesting. I work at Glendale Community College, and they had a workshop, and she led it.
What was the workshop on?
It was on nutrition and hypnosis
Relationships.
and relationships.
Hypnosis, nutrition,